The Senate will come to order. The senators will please take their seats. Those not entitled to the privilege of the floor will please retire to the gallery. The senators and all in attendance will please rise and be led in prayer by the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Branch Griffin, Hood Temple AME Zion Church, Richmond, Virginia.
Might we pray? O thou who art our Creator, Redeemer, and our Sustainer, it is because of you that we are in this place on today. God, we thank you for these, our senators and lawmakers who introduce legislation for the good of all citizens of this great Commonwealth of Virginia. I ask that you would allow them to work together in harmony to provide greatest service for the greatest number. God, we also ask that because of the laws that are enacted by these knowledgeable and dedicated public servants, Virginia will serve as a benchmark for all other states. It is then and only then we can begin to see a shift in the atmosphere of the entire United States. It is only then we will see a nation where there is truly liberty and justice for all. Bless our newly inaugurated Governor, Ralph Northam, who has the responsibility of leading this Commonwealth. Stand by his side. Bless our Lieutenant Governor, Justin Fairfax, who presides over this Senate. Be thou with him. Give both of them the wisdom and knowledge to carry out their awesome task. God, if you will hear our prayer and grant these requests, all the credit will go to you, and we will take none for ourselves. It is in your marvelous, majestic, and magnificent name, the one who is our strong tower and solid rock, that we ask all of these things. Amen.
Amen. The clerk will call the roll. All those present will vote aye. Clerk will close the roll.
You have a quorum, Mr. President. Senate Journal for Wednesday, January 31st, 2018.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The senator from Mecklenburg, Senator Ruff, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All in favor of the waiving of the reading of the journal will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 36, noes 3, Rule 36-1.
Ayes 36, noes 3, Rule 36-1. The reading of the journal is waived. Clerk will report any communication from the House of Delegates. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I respectfully move we waive the reading of any communications received from the House of Delegates.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall the reading of the communication be waived? All in favor of the waiving of the reading of the communication from the House of Delegates will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 2.
Ayes 38, noes 2. The reading of the communication from the House of Delegates is waived. The clerk will report any communication from the governor.
We do not have any, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now comes the time where we welcome visitors here to the gallery in the Senate, and we are grateful that you all are here. As a gentle reminder, daily friendly reminder, we will have the senators introduce the groups or individuals. I will then extend the warm welcome of the Senate, and then we will all clap together at once at the end. So thank you all so much for your cooperation. And I'd like to begin with the Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon, Senator.
It's great to see you, sir.
Great to see you as always.
Thank you. I rise for the purposes of an introduction, sir.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you very much. Members of the Senate, those in the gallery, today I have the distinct honor of identifying two great friends from Southside Virginia who have come to the Capitol today to advocate on behalf of the Tourism Council. Ladies and gentlemen, in Danville, Pittsylvania County, Franklin County, Henry County, we have great attractions that we want you to come and see, and these are great advocates for those attractions, and it always helps our economy. And when you come down to Southside Virginia and you see those great attractions that we have, it'll make you want to stay. So, Mr. President, I know a lot of people wish my mic would go off like that more often.
We didn't do that on purpose, Senator.
Sure you didn't. Mr. President, in our gallery today, we have Amy Bowles, the Danville, Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce, and Brenda Bowman. Brenda Bowman, my first 2-3 years here, was my guide through the wilderness to teach me how to become a senator, so don't hold that against her. Brenda Bowman's with the Pennsylvania County Tourism Council. If you would, Mr. President, extend to them the warm welcome of the Senate, I'd most appreciate it.
I thank the Senator. Would Amy Bowles and Brenda Bowman please rise in the Senate gallery if you're able? Here? Okay, maybe they're not here yet, so what we will do is we'll revisit that. Senator from Franklin, once they are here, to give them the appropriate warm welcome. For now. The Senator from Petersburg, Senator Dance.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for an introduction.
The Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President and members of this auspicious body, our invocation today was delivered by the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Branch Griffin. I have known Reverend Griffin since her youth, as she was a close childhood friend of one of my younger sisters. I've had the privilege to watch her grow into a woman, a wife, a mother, grandmother, a nurse, and a pastor of over the many years that I've known her, and our friendship has lasted. She is a woman of exceptional talents, Mr. President. Reverend Griffin received her doctorate in nursing and served as the director of student health services at Virginia State University until her retirement several years ago. During the past 25 years, Reverend Griffin has served as pastor of 5 AME Zion churches within the Virginia Conference, to include Oak Street AME Zion in Petersburg and now Hood Temple here in Richmond. Reverend Griffin made history this year at the 151st Virginia Annual Conference when Bishop W. Darren Moore appointed her as pastor of the leading AME Zion Church in Virginia. I'm especially proud that she serves as the first female to pastor at Hood Temple during its 100 years of existence. Mr. President, Reverend Griffin, even though we're from different parents, is my sister in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, my sister in Petersburg Links Incorporated, and most importantly, Mr. President, my sister in Christ. She is accompanied in the gallery today by Katina F. Williams, Community Impact Director for United Way of Richmond, Sylvia D. Collins, retired nurse for the Commonwealth of Virginia, Kel Graves, Recreation Supervisor for Petersburg Federal Corrections, her son-in-law. And Mr. President, I asked that you would please extend to her and her guests the warm welcome of the Senate.
Thank the Senator. Would Reverend Dr. Branch Griffin, Katina Williams, Sylvia Collins, and Kel Graves please rise in the gallery if you're able. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank each one of you for your leadership. Reverend Doctor, I want to thank you for that beautiful prayer to start us off. It was very powerful. And for your moral leadership here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Each of you makes us a better Commonwealth, and we are so grateful for your dedication and your service. So you are welcome here anytime. And I would ask everyone here to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to our distinguished guests. The Senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for an introduction.
The Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've got some great folks here today with us. Public polling usually doesn't have Congress in very high esteem, no matter who runs Congress. But the one profession that's almost always at the very top of every public poll I've ever seen is nurses. And I made the wise decision a long time ago to marry a nurse, and I'm proud of myself for making such a good decision. And today we have a lot of those wonderful caregivers with us here today as part of the Virginia Nursing Association, or Virginia Nurses Association, sorry for mispronouncing the name. But it's wonderful to have them here advocating for their legislative priorities and the ways that they think we can best treat patients, allow them to treat patients the best across the Commonwealth. So I hope you'll give them a warm welcome of the Senate.
I thank the Senator for those kind words. Would the members of the Virginia Nurses Association in the gallery please rise if you're able? A large and wonderful group of nurses here with us today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your advocacy here in the Capitol, but also for your work all around the Commonwealth of Virginia. It is so vital and important, not only to healthcare delivery, but to the quality of life for every single one of us. We benefit every day from the work that you do. The Senator from Roanoke County did make a very wise decision in marrying a nurse. I made a very wise decision in having my sister be a nurse, labor and delivery nurse, and my grandmother and so many other people in our family. And I know we all have a connection to your incredibly important and vital profession. So thank you for what you do. We are grateful every day for your service. And I would ask everyone please to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to our great members of the Virginia Nurses Association. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Steph.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Today in the gallery are Reverend and Mrs. Sampson from Virginia Beach. They're visiting the Capitol, Mrs. Sampson, for the first time to share their concerns as part of the United Methodist Church members in Richmond. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the senator. Would the Reverend and Mrs. Sampson please rise in the gallery if you are able? Thank you so much for joining us here today. We echo the kind words of the junior senator from Virginia Beach in welcoming you, and welcome for the first time, and hopefully not for the last. You are welcome to come here anytime, and thank you for your advocacy and for making us a better Commonwealth through your commitment as citizens. So we look forward to seeing you here again many more times in the future, and I would ask everyone to please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to the Reverend and Mrs. Sampson. The senator from Grayson, Senator Carrico.
Thank you, Mr. President. Rise for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, members of the body, I'm honored to introduce a group of members from far and wide for the Virginians for the Arts. The members of the Virginians for the Arts are here today to support Virginia's vibrant art economy and community. My district has a long history of the arts activities and job creation spurred by some of the attractions there in Southwest Virginia. Hartwood, the birthplace of country music in Bristol.
I love it.
The Barter Theater, the States Theater, Carter Foal. Some of the, just to mention a few notable organizations in the 40th Senatorial District. I know that Leah Ross and with the birthplace of country music, and Deborah McCrowski with the Barter Theater are here with Virginia's for the Arts in the Senate Gallery today. We're also here to, they are also here to advocate for the state support for the arts, and their commission, the Commission for the Arts, awarded approximately 680 grants last year to the art organizations, leveraging supports from local government and individuals and businesses. Give you some numbers, and in light of the money that's always tight in the budgets, they play a notable role in Virginia's industry as far as impact on not just the culture of the students and the impact on the students, but job creations through their efforts, and play a major role in Virginia's tourism. In 2017, Virginia was the home of 17,000 art-related businesses, and they employed over 68,500 people throughout the Commonwealth. Tourism in Virginia generates about $23 billion of revenue in 2017, and more than 1.6 billion in the state and local taxes. 5.8 million people attended, over 38,000 art events made possible through the VCA. And I know that a lot of that's been generated in my region. Art organizations are the anchor of development and revitalizations of cities and small towns. I would hope that we would extend to them a warm welcome today. They're in the gallery, and make them welcome to the Virginia Senate. Thank you.
Thank the Senator. Would the members of the Virginians for the Arts in the gallery please rise if you're able? Thank you all so much for being here. Again, a really powerful and large group. We are grateful that you took the time to join us here in the Senate and the Capitol, and also grateful for your work. Senator Carrico said very eloquently the importance of what you do every single day to each one of us, but also overall to the Commonwealth of Virginia. Education, job creation, culture here, it is so vital and so important to every single one of us. And so please keep up your tremendous work and advocacy, and let us know how we can help and support what you do. I would ask everyone please to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to the wonderful people here from Virginia for the Arts. The senior senator from Fairfax, Senator Saslaw.
Mr. President, I rise for a couple of introductions.
Senator has the floor.
By the way, I always thought the most popular professions in these pollings were lawyers, gasoline dealers, and elected officials. Surprised to hear otherwise. Anyway, we're joined today in the gallery. There's two groups, but I'll introduce one of them first. The Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce, which is the largest business advocacy group in our region, and their member companies employ more than 500,000 individuals. They're essentially the voice of business in Northern Virginia, and they've gotten involved in public policy, promoting of solutions for education, workforce development, transportation, and especially are hoping to solve the metro problems. But and they're led today by the President, Jim Corcoran, and I would ask that you extend a warm welcome of the Senate.
I thank the Senator. Would the members of the Northern Virginia Regional Chamber of Commerce in the gallery please rise if you're able? Thank you all so much for joining us here today. As Senator Saslaw said, we are so grateful for your leadership in the private sector and in our civic life in Northern Virginia, but also really the entirety of the Commonwealth of Virginia. You represent tremendous businesses and large employers and people who contribute so much and in so many ways. I want to thank Jim, the President, for his leadership. I see my friend Scott McGeary there, and Michael Forehand, the Executive Director, and so many of the other leaders who make not only the Chamber special, but make Northern Virginia special. And I would ask everyone please to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to our friends from the Northern Virginia Regional Chamber of Commerce. Senior Senator from Fairfax, Senator Saslaw.
Mr. President, I don't know if they're in the gallery yet, but the realtors from Northern Virginia are down here today, and it's the association as well as various areas, the Dulles Area Association of Realtors and the Realtors of Prince William County. There's a total of 17,000 realtors in their membership. They've gotten more and more active in their communities, and they've been strong advocates for fair housing policies, and they fought hard against any discrimination of any kind. And I would hope that if they are here or watching in one of the other rooms, you would extend the warm welcome of the Senate. Thank you.
I thank the Senator. Would the members of the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors with us in the gallery please rise if you're able? On both sides of the gallery. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for your leadership in Northern Virginia and in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Such an important industry, really, to all of our families, and we appreciate your advocacy, as the Senator mentioned, for fair housing and opportunities for everyone to live the American dream. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that my mother-in-law is a proud realtor in Northern Virginia, and we thank you for what you do every day to make a better life possible for all of our families. So you are welcome here anytime in the Senate and in the Capitol, And I would ask everyone to please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to all of our friends from the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors.
Mr. President, while
Senator Sasslaw.
I haven't seen her, their leader every year when they've been down here has been Mary Beth Koya.
Yes.
Okay.
Mary Beth here? Please give her our warm welcome as well. So thank you so much. The senator from Lynchburg, Senator Peake. By accident? No problem. The senator from Northern Fairfax, Senator Howe.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Senator. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you. I rise for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
We have the parents and brother of our page, Knox Dendy, here with us today. Knox's parents, Stacy and Ben Dendy, are here, and Knox's brother, Marshall Dendy, is here. I hope you'll give them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Thank you so much, Senator. With members of the Dendy family in the gallery, please rise. We want to thank you all so much for being here today. You have an extraordinary family. We're all very familiar with you and your leadership here in the Commonwealth of Virginia over many years. You also have an extraordinary son and brother in Knox Dendy, who is a member of our PAGE program and who escorted our Reverend Doctor today and has done a wonderful job in our PAGE program. We are proud of him, but we know that you are even more proud of everything that he is and it will become. So I would ask everyone, please, to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to the Dendy family. The senator from Southern Fairfax, Senator Barker.
Mr. President, I rise for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, today in the gallery we have members of the National Association of Social Workers. An outstanding organization that represents people in an outstanding profession, highly skilled people who make a difference in the lives of many Virginians across the Commonwealth. They work in a variety of settings, healthcare settings, schools, educational settings, some in private practice, some work for nonprofit agencies, some work for public agencies, and in all those areas they are making a difference in the lives of those in need, those with challenges, and to help families deal with struggles and issues that they may have. We are a better Commonwealth because of them and what they do, and I'd hope you give the warm welcome of the Senate to these members of the National Association of Social Workers. Thank you.
I thank the senator. With the members of the National Association of Social Workers in the gallery with us, please rise if you're able. Large group on this side. Thank you all so much for being here today. We echo the words of the senator from Southern Fairfax, Senator Barker, about the importance of your profession, also but about your leadership, your compassion, what you do to make our families so much stronger and fill in the gaps for people who really need a champion. And this is work that you do every single day, and we really celebrate the opportunity to celebrate you and to tell you how grateful we are for what you do. You're welcome here anytime. Please continue your great work in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I'd ask everyone to please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to our friends from the National Association of Social Workers. The junior senator from Richmond City, Senator McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for an introduction.
Thank you, Senator. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Joining us in the gallery today, we have the Reverend Tom Joyce and members of the Virginia Conference of the United Methodists who are visiting the Capitol today for their 26th annual Methodist Day at the General Assembly. The Virginia Conference is composed of 16 districts covering every geographical area of Virginia east of Christiansburg, and it includes 11,043 churches and 325,000 United Methodist members. The delegation is led today by the Reverend Tom Joyce, Assistant to the Bishop of the Virginia Conference and past President of the Virginia Council of Churches. I ask that you give them a warm Senate welcome.
I thank the senator. Would the Reverend Tom Joyce and the members of the United Methodist delegation in the gallery please rise if you're able. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your leadership. We echo the words of the junior senator from Richmond City, Senator McClellan, about the importance of your work. We're grateful that you're here on the 26th annual Methodist Day, and wish you many, many more to come. I know you'll be meeting with our great legislators, and they look forward to hearing about your priorities and the things that you care about. But thank you for fighting for others and making us a better Commonwealth to live in and to raise families. So I would ask everyone to please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to Reverend Tom Joyce and the members of the United Methodist delegation. Inquiry for the senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley. Do we know whether or not your distinguished guests are here? They're here. Okay. Well, I believe they are. So I'll call on the senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Once again, I get to do a do-over here. Mr. President and members of the Senate in the gallery today, we have two very fine people from my area who care very much about that area, about commerce and jobs and workforce training and also tourism. And they're great friends of mine, and I wish you would give them the warm welcome of the Senate. Up there we have Amy Bowles from the Danville, Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce, and Brenda Bowman, who I said earlier when I introduced her, and she wasn't here, that she was my legislative aide for a number of years when I first was here, so she taught me everything, but don't hold that against her. So if you would give Amy Bowles and Brenda Bowman the warm welcome of the Senate, I'd certainly appreciate it.
I thank the senator. Would Amy Bowles and Brenda Bowman please rise to the gallery if you're able? Thank you all so much for being here today, and you had such an impact on Senator Stanley that he wanted to greet you twice. So we really appreciate you all taking the time to be here. Thank you for your leadership in Pennsylvania County and in Danville, really a beautiful part of the Commonwealth of Virginia that we all love visiting and look forward to going back to. So we appreciate you being here. Of course, you're welcome anytime. And we would ask everyone to please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to Amy Bowles and to Brenda Bowman. Do any other senators wish to be recognized for purposes of introduction? Is there any other business to come before the morning hour? Seeing none, the clerk will call the calendar.
Senate calendar for Thursday, February 1st, 2018. Uncontested calendar of Senate bills on third reading.
The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that all Senate bills on the uncontested calendar on the third reading, including all bills on pages 1 through 3, which would include Senate Bill 417 through Senate Bill 846, be placed on their final passage in the block. Any senator who may desire to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of that bill.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested calendar third reading, pages 1 through 3, Senate Bill 417 through Senate Bill 846, be placed upon their final passage in the block with the understanding that any senator desiring to remove a bill from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills are before us in the block. The clerk will read the number of the bills.
Senate Bill 417, Senate Bill 544. We have a floor substitute.
Senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, I move that we reconsider the vote by which the bill was engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Yes, Senator. Would like
you want to take it out of the block? Let's take it out of the block.
Okay, without objection, we'll take it out of the block in return. Thank you, Senator.
Senate Bill 186, Senate Bill 278, Senate Bill 422, Senate Bill 457, Senate Bill 783, Senate Bill 846.
The question is,
Mr. President.
Senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can Senate Bill 186 on page 2 come out of the block?
Without objection, Senate Bill 186 is removed from the block.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Senator from Bath, Senator Deeds.
Could Senate Bill 783 on page 3 come out of the block?
Without objection, Senate Bill 783 is removed from the block. The question is, shall the bills in the block pass? That is, all bills except for Senate Bills 544, 186, and 783. All in favor of passage of the bills will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The bills in the block pass.
Senate Bill 544, there's a floor substitute.
The senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, having voted on the prevailing side by which we engrossed and advanced the bill to its third reading, I move that we reconsider that vote.
The question is, shall the vote by which the bill was engrossed and advanced to its third reading be reconsidered? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The motion is agreed to. The senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, I move that we waive the reading of the floor substitute.
Question is, shall the reading of the floor substitute be waived? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The reading of the floor substitute is waived. Senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, I move that the floor substitute be agreed to. Speaking of this, this bill is a little bill that came to me as a result of discussions with some retired doctors in the Valley who want to collect prescription drugs from nursing homes, assisted living complexes, and distribute them through the free clinics. And after taking this bill through the committee, we were able to work with the Board of Pharmacy to streamline this and to actually make it a more effective vehicle for achievement of the purposes. So this bill does exactly what the previous version was supposed to do, but a little bit more effectively. So with that, Mr. President, I would ask that the floor substitute be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the floor substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The floor substitute is agreed to. The senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, I move that we engross and advance the bill to its third reading.
Question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading. Senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, I move that we suspend the rules and waive the third constitutional reading.
Question is, shall the rules be suspended and the third constitutional reading be waived? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended and the third constitutional reading is waived. Senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, having previously explained the bill and the substitute, I move that it pass.
Question is, shall Senate Bill 544 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, noes 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. Senate Bill 544 passes.
Page 2, Senate Bill 186.
The senior senator from Loudoun County, Senator Black.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move passage of Senate Bill 186 and speaking to the measure.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill is a minor tweak to existing law. Existing law says that warrant requirements do not apply to situations where the Commonwealth uses drones for purposes such as clearing automobile accidents, looking for lost kids, checking on forest fires, natural disasters, and so forth. And out of an abundance of caution, the county attorney in Loudoun County said it was not entirely clear that this would apply to localities. Our sheriff would like it so that when we have 3 miles of traffic that are lined up and we need to get in there, we need to clear the accident and get traffic moving, we can do it. So it really does not it really doesn't affect the warrant requirement. There is no warrant requirement at all. It simply is other duties that that law enforcement does, and it's already existing law, but it does clarify that one aspect that localities can use this. So with that, again, I urge passage of the bill.
I thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 186? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 186 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. Senate Bill 186 passes.
Page 3, Senate Bill 783.
Senator from Lynchburg, Senator Peake.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I move that the bill pass, and speaking to the bill.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill is a recommendation that has come to us from the Virginia State Crime Commission. This is a transparency bill. This bill will require that the Department of Criminal Justice Services annually review pretrial agencies established in the Commonwealth and produce a publicly available report on the status and performance of each of these agencies. We set up pretrial agencies in the Commonwealth, but until now they have not been required to report to the General Assembly or the governor. The purpose of my bill is to require them to report annually to the governor and the General Assembly the performance of each agency, including the amount of funding they've received, the number of investigations they've conducted, the number of defendants placed on pretrial supervision, their average daily caseload, and the appearance, public safety, and compliance rates of the defendants that are placed on their pretrial supervision. So what this bill does is it will give us an idea of what kind of return we're getting on the Commonwealth's investment. I move that the bill pass.
Thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 783? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 783 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 37, noes 3.
Ayes 37, noes 3. Senate Bill 783 passes.
Regular calendar, Senate bills on third reading. Senate Bill 698, a bill relating to erosion and sediment control, inspections, natural gas pipelines, stop work instructions, emergency. There are two floor amendments.
Mr. President.
Senator from Bass, Senator Deeds.
I respectfully request that this bill and the next go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 698 and Senate Bill 699 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 153, a bill relating to elections from form of ballot order of independent candidates.
Senator from Roanoke City, Senator Edwards.
Mr. President, I move that the bill pass by way of explanation.
Senator has the floor.
Since this bill has been fixed by the senator from Eastern Fairfax, so I think everybody's fine with it. It just simply says that independent candidates on the ballot or after the party sponsored candidates should be listed in order of priority based on the time of filing. And the time of filing simply means the time in which the independent candidate has filed the petition signature pages with the requisite number of signatures. That's it. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 153? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 153 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. Senate Bill 153 passes.
Senate Bill 414, the bill relating to the Micro Market Act penalty.
Senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Mr. President, I'm going to ask that this bill go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 414 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 608, a bill relating to expungement of police and court records plea agreements.
Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Servell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill pass, and speaking to that motion.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill has to do with second chances and expungements. Currently, under Virginia law, in order to obtain an expungement, you have to have a charge that's either been flat out dismissed or you were found not guilty. That's the current law in the state. You can't get an expungement if there's any kind of indication in the record that you're guilty. So, for example, if a charge is continued for dismissal, you stipulate you're guilty for that, you cannot get an expungement. There's this bill basically just says that a prosecutor, a Commonwealth attorney, cannot condition a plea agreement in any way on waiving your statutory right to an expungement. That's happened in some parts of the state, and this just makes it clear that you maintain that right. A Commonwealth attorney can't force you to waive it in connection with a dismissal or another plea agreement. I'd hope the bill pass.
Thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 608? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 608 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 29, noes 11.
Ayes 29, noes 11. Senate Bill 608 passes.
Uncontested calendar House Bill on second reading, House Bill 154, a bill relating to conformity of the Commonwealth's taxation system with the Internal Revenue Code. Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on second reading.
Before we proceed, the senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan, you wish to rise to be recognized? Okay, thank you, no worries. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, I would now move that all Senate bills on the second reading on the uncontested calendar, which would include all Senate bills on pages 7 through 16, including Senate Bill 248 through Senate Bill 946, be engrossed in advance to the third reading in the block after the adoption of any amendments. Any senator who desires to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of that bill.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall all Senate bills on second reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 7 through 16, Senate Bill 248 through Senate Bill 946, be engrossed in advance to their third reading in the block after the adoption of the amendment thereto, that any senator desiring to remove a bill from the block do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to.
Senate Bill 248, reported from the Committee on Finance. Senate Bill 321, reported from the Committee on Finance with amendment.
The senator from Mecklenburg, Senator Ruff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the committee amendment.
Thank the senator. Question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 328, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
The senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we agree to the substitute.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 336, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendment.
Senator from Lynchburg, Senator Peake.
Mr. President, I move that the amendment be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 462, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute, and from the Committee on Finance with a substitute.
Senator from Spotsylvania, Senator Reeves.
With the recommendation to be rejected, I'd move the committee substitute from Ed and Health.
With the recommendation that it be rejected, the question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no.
No.
The noes have it. The committee substitute is rejected. Senator from Spotsylvania, Senator Reeves.
Thank you, Mr. President. With that, I'd move the committee substitute from Finance.
Question is, shall the committee substitute from Finance be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute from Finance is agreed to.
Senate Bill 529, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Senator from Williamsburg, Senator Mason.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the substitute be agreed to.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 579, reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I request we move the committee amendment.
Question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendment, the ayes have it, the committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 584, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendments.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D-Staff.
Mr. President, I request we move the committee amendment.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to.
Senate Bill 593, reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor with amendments, and from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
Senator from Fauquier, Senator Vogel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to request that that go by for the day.
Without objection, we'll go by for the day. Thank the senator.
Senate Bill 630, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendment.
Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Servell.
Move the committee amendment.
Question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 651, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 657, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 672, reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor. Senate Bill 688, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Senator from Mecklenburg, Senator Ruff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the committee substitute.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 722, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Servell.
Move the committee substitute.
Question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 754, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 758, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
The senior senator from Richmond City, Senator Sturdivant.
Mr. President, I move that the committee substitute be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 858, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 887, reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor. Senate Bill 906, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
The junior senator from Richmond City, Senator McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the committee substitute be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 934, reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor with amendment.
Senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the amendment be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 935, reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor with a substitute.
Senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the substitute be agreed to as well.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 946, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology.
Question is, shall the Senate bills be engrossed in advance to their third reading? That is all bills except for Senate Bill 593. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills are engrossed in advance to their third reading.
Regular calendar Senate bills on second reading. Senate Bill 168, a bill relating to electronic transmission of nude or partially nude images of minors by minors penalty. Reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice with a substitute, and there is a floor substitute.
The senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that we waive the reading of the floor substitute. You got to undo it. Okay. Actually,
so do we first want to?
Never mind. I now move that we reject the committee substitute.
Before we do that, could we reconsider the vote by which the substitute was agreed to?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay, great. The question is, shall the vote by which the committee substitute was agreed to be reconsidered. All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote?
Not really.
Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. The motion is agreed to. The senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
All right, let me see if I can do this again. Now I move that we reject the committee substitute.
With the recommendation that it be rejected, the question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The noes have it. The committee substitute is rejected. The senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you. Hopefully I'm back on the rails now. I now move that we waive the reading of the floor substitute.
Question is, shall the reading of the floor substitute be waived? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The reading of the floor substitute is waived. Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
I now move that we agree to the floor substitute. And speaking to that motion, sir.
Senator has the floor.
Whew, let me see if I can get through this okay. I feel rusty. Ladies and gentlemen, Senate Bill 168 before you, the floor substitute basically changes some language. This is a bill to try to address a sexting issue that we have, the problem that we have in high school. I co-patron this with my good friend, Senator Surville, and what we've done in Section B and where it's needed is to more adequately and accurately define what the material would be that would be a violation of law. We are now inserting sexually explicit visual material instead of the prior definite and the prior words, and this is actually defined in the code. So that way is more succinct and reflects even recent court rulings from our Supreme Court and Court of Appeals. And for those reasons, I renew my motion that we accept and adopt the floor substitute.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the floor substitute be adopted? Excuse me, Senator from Fairfax City, Senator Peterson? No? Does any senator wish to be recognized before we take this vote? The question is, shall the floor substitute be adopted? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The floor substitute is adopted. The senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
And finally, Mr. President, I now move that we engross and advance Senate Bill 168 to its third constitutional reading.
Question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 55, a bill relating to the Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation, disciplinary actions by regulatory boards. Reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendments.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I move the committee amendments.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I'll explain the committee amendments real quick. We inadvertently deleted paragraph 9.
Senator, I don't want to interrupt you, but you don't need to explain if you just wanted to engross in advance. You can do that.
In that case, Mr. President, as you were, I'd like to engross in advance to its third constitutional reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 213, a bill relating to public aircraft definition, reported from the Committee on Transportation with a substitute and from the Committee on Finance with amendments.
The senior senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Senator.
Mr. President, I move the committee substitute from the Committee on Transportation.
Question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to. The senior senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now I would move that we accept the amendments from the Finance Committee.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendments from the Finance Committee be adopted? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are adopted. The senior senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now I move that the bill be engrossed and passed to its third reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 262, a bill relating to adoption leave benefits, reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
The senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance added the appropriations clause to Senate Bill 262, and I would move its adoption.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to. Senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Mr. President, I would move that Senate Bill 262 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall Senate Bill 262 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 512, a bill relating to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, scholastic records, student telephone numbers, and student personal email addresses. Reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology.
Senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd move that Senate Bill 512 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 569, a bill relating to the Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation, Board for Contractors, exemptions from licensure. Reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we engross Senate Bill 569 and advance it to its third constitutional.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall Senate Bill 569 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 569 is engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Senate Bill 625, a bill relating to consumer finance companies' loans licensing. Reported for the Committee on Commerce and Labor with a substitute.
Mr. President.
Senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Thank you, Mr. President. After speaking to the patron, could this bill go by for the day?
Without objection, Senate Bill 625 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 717, a bill relating to accident and sickness insurance rate filings agent commissions. Reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Senator from Chesterfield, Senator Chase.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Bill 717 be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall Senate Bill 717 be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 717 is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 869, a bill relating to education improvement scholarships, tax credits, benefits, and eligibility requirements for students with a disability. Reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we accept the committee amendments.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendments be adopted? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is adopted. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we adopt Senate Bill 869, engross and advance to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall Senate Bill 869 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 869 is engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on first reading.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, I would now move that all the Senate bills on the first reading on both the uncontested and regular calendar, which would include all Senate bills on pages 20 through 30, including Senate Bill 27 through Senate Bill 726, that the rules of the Senate be suspended and that the first constitutional reading of the titles be dispensed with.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the first reading of the titles of the Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 20 through 30, Senate Bill 27 through Senate Bill 726, be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, I would now move that all the bills that find themselves on the second reading be passed by for the day.
Thank the senator. Question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars now on second reading be passed by for the day? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills will go by for the day. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Memorial resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would now move that all of the memorial resolutions on pages 30 and 31 of the calendar, including House Joint Resolution 139 through Senate Resolution number 17, be agreed to in the usual manner, waiving the reading of the resolutions. Any senator who may desire to remove a memorial resolution from the block should please do so after the clerk has read the title of that resolution.
Thank you, Senator. The question is, shall the memorial resolutions on pages 30 through 31, House Joint Resolution 139 through Senate Resolution 17, be considered in the block in the usual manner, waiving the reading of the resolutions thereof, with the understanding that any senator desiring a resolution be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the title of the resolution. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The resolutions are before us in the block. The clerk will read the titles of the memorial resolutions.
House Joint Resolution 139, celebrating the life of Special Agent Michael T. Walter. House Joint Resolution 148, celebrating the life of David Clark Dowling. House Joint Resolution 156, celebrating the life of Master Sergeant George Allen Banner, Jr., United States Army. Senate Joint Resolution 61, celebrating the life of Dennis Patrick Mullins. Senate Joint Resolution 64, celebrating the life of Command Sergeant Major Jeffrey Scott Vogel, United States Army. Senate Resolution 17, celebrating the life of the Honorable Earl C. Mobley.
The resolutions will be agreed to in the usual manner. All those in favor of agreeing to the memorial resolutions, please rise. The resolutions are agreed to.
Commending resolutions.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
I would now move that all of the commending resolutions on pages 31 through 33 of the calendar, including House Joint Resolution 140 through Senate Resolution 16, be agreed to in the block by voice vote, waiving the reading of the resolution. Any senator who desires to remove a resolution from the block should please do so after the clerk has read the number of that resolution.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall the commending resolutions on pages 31 through 33, House Joint Resolution 140 through Senate Resolution 16, be considered in the block by voice vote, waiving the reading of the resolutions, with the understanding that any senator desiring a resolution be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the resolution. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The resolutions are before us in the block. The clerk will read the numbers of the resolutions.
House Joint Resolutions 140, 143, 145, 146, 147, 151.
Mr. President.
Senior Senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Could House Joint Resolution 151 come out of the block?
Without objection, House Joint Resolution 151 is removed from the block.
152, 154, 155. Senate Joint Resolutions 20.
Mr. President, could
Senator from Hampton, Senator Locke.
Could Senate Joint Resolution 20 come out of the block?
Without objection, Senate Joint Resolution 20 is removed from the block.
60, 82, 16.
The question is, shall the resolutions be agreed to? That is, all resolutions except for House Joint Resolution 151 and Senate Joint Resolution 20. All in favor of agreeing to the resolutions will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolutions are agreed to.
Sorry. Senate Joint Resolution 20. House Joint Resolution 151.
Mr. President.
Senator from Fairfax City, Senator Peterson.
HGR 151 go by for the day.
Without objection.
So I can get my name on it.
Without objection, House Joint Resolution 151 will go by for the day.
Mr. President, inquiry.
Senior Senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Before it goes by for the day, could the clerk read the title of that resolution, please?
Madam Clerk.
House Joint Resolution 151, commending the 1987 Washington Redskins replacement players.
Without objection, it will go by for the day.
Senate Joint Resolution 20, we have a floor substitute.
Senator from Hampton, Senator Locke.
I move that we waive the reading of the floor substitute.
The question is, shall the reading of the floor substitute be waived? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The reading of the floor substitute is waived. Senator from Hampton, Senator Locke.
Thank you, Mr. President. The floor substitute really makes a change on lines 44 and 45, where it adds a couple of Supreme Court cases that discusses the 14th Amendment and its I can't read my own writing. Where it discusses the Supreme Court cases where the 14th Amendment was the basis for full integration of the sexes in the Commonwealth of Virginia colleges and universities. And that's what the floor substitute does. So I move passage of the floor substitute.
Thank the Senator. The question is, shall the floor substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The floor substitute is agreed to. Senator from Hampton, Senator Locke.
I move that Senate Joint Resolution 20 be agreed to.
I thank the Senator. The question is, shall Senate Joint Resolution 20 be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Joint Resolution 20 is agreed to.
19.
Turning to page 19. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I move we reconsider the vote in which we engross Senate Bill 569.
The question is, shall the vote by which Senate Bill 569 was engrossed in advance be reconsidered? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The motion is agreed to. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I move we take Senate Bill 569 by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 569 will go by for the day. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, inquire the clerk, does that complete today's calendar?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other business to come before the Senate? The senior senator from Loudoun County, Senator Black.
Thank you, Mr. President. Could we return to the morning hour briefly?
Without objection.
For an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are joined by the husband of my seatmate. The husband's name is Alex Vogel. He is a very, very patient husband. We understand the trials and tribulations of living with the gentle lady of Fakir. Together, they have many children, and you have heard from many of them over the years, repeatedly, over and over. And Alex Vogel is in the gallery. He is a very successful businessman, in addition to being a patient husband. And he has come on a very rare occasion to the gallery to see his wife at work. We will find out whether he has been satisfied or dissatisfied, but that's between them. But in any event, In any event, I would ask that we extend the warm welcome of the Senate to Mr. Alex Vogel.
I thank the senator. Alex, I thank the senator. Alex Vogel, will you please rise in the gallery? Alex, thank you so much for joining us here today. I want to thank you and your wonderful wife, Senator Vogel, and your entire family for your commitment to public service, for the great work that you do, for the sacrifices that we know you have made over a number of years. And we had the honor and the privilege of having your son, Will Vogel, here with us just this week, and got to recognize and show our appreciation for him and for your entire family. So on behalf of the entire Senate family, which is your family, we want to thank you for being here. Thank you for all that both of you do in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I would ask everyone to please join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to Alex Vogel. Do any other senators wish to be recognized for purposes of an introduction? Is there... Is there any other business to come before the Senate? Seeing none, the clerk will report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Thursday, February the 1st, the Education and Health Subcommittee on Higher Education will meet immediately upon adjournment in the 5th floor, Subcommittee Room number 3 in Pocahontas. Senators Saslaw, Black, Chase, Cosgrove, and Peterson. The Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Natural Resources will meet 1/2 hour after adjournment in Senate Room A in the Pocahontas building. The Education and Health Subcommittee on Public Education will meet 1/2 hour after adjournment, 5th floor Subcommittee Room number 2 in Pocahontas. Senators Carrico, Donovan, Howell, Locke, and Peake. The Finance Subcommittee on Education will meet at 3 p.m., 5th floor Subcommittee Room number 1. Senators Norman, Newman, Howell, Saslaw, Hanger, Ruff, Donovan, and Stewart. Tomorrow, Friday, February the 2nd, the Committee on Rehabilitation and Social Services will meet at 8 a.m. in Senate Room A. This is a time change, 8 a.m., Senate Room A. The Republican caucus will meet 1/2 hour before session in Senate Room 2. The Democratic caucus will meet 1/2 hour before session in Senate Room 1. You have, from today, 13 days to Valentine's Day. Go Packers.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, for those announcements and that reminder. And I'd like to call on the senator from Bedford, Senator Newman.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 10:30 tomorrow.
Thank the senator. Question is, shall the Senate adjourn until 10:30 a.m. tomorrow? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The Senate stands adjourned until 10:30 a.m. tomorrow.